The way I love my mum is a very different degree the way I would love my daughter, the way I would love my father, the way I would love my sibling. My heart is so large, I can't contain the energy with one person.
The innate nature of every soul is love. Every soul on the planet has 7 qualities: purity, peace, love, happiness, power, wisdom, and bliss. And ask anyone, everybody wants these 7.
Sister, I wanted to talk to you about love in a different context. You know, it's been my observation that a lot of spiritual people, people that carry those energies, the ability to heal, the ability to inspire, who have been touched by the divine. Everyone's touched by the divine. I just believe many people are blind to it. Is it that their hearts are able to love so much in the form of a pure energy? And that is why most spiritual leaders, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking in general observation, you know, they're not in relationships. I remember one spiritual leader who I had to treat many, many years ago from Delhi. And he made this profound statement that my heart is so large, I can't contain the energy with one person. So I don't want to do wrong to one person. I don't want to be caged by one person when I have the ability to want to give love in different ways to different people, which one person who's committed to me may not find it the right way, may want my time, may want my energy, all for themselves. I've never really understood this, but of late, when I see people struggling in relationships, people struggling, of course, people struggle for wrong reasons. There can be affairs that are born out of greed, affairs that are born out of lack, of emotion, different reasons. Pleasure, very different. It makes me start to think this whole word love, and I apply it again to myself, always. I like to apply it, self-realization. The way I love my mum is a very different degree the way I would love my daughter, the way I would love my father, the way I would love my sibling, the way I would love my... So there are different degrees of love. And then you're put into a box that love has to be this way. Of course, our minds are conditioned with love from movies, and all of that is, of course, not real. But how do we understand this energy? Because I believe to solve a lot of these problems of betrayal, hurt, breakups, it comes from the understanding of love as an energy. You know, you meet someone, you like someone, you fall in love. It's an energy. That energy can change, it can grow, it can diminish, it can be expressed in different forms as we age. Right. So I feel a lot of the solution, if there is, comes from understanding this energy, of why some hearts are able to move in one direction, some hearts get pulled with a very right intention to want to give more, to emotionally be involved in some problem. I'm not talking about the dirty part of it, which is a choice. Again, I'd seek pleasure more over honesty. That's a different thing. So I've always wondered about this and wondered if there's a reason why people who are able to serve people, they're not really in, like they don't marry or they're not in a relationship. It's in our faith of, being a Catholic as well. A priest doesn't marry. A priest is supposed to whatever, for whatever reasons. I don't know what the right answer is. But I would love for you to explain over the years of your experience, how do we understand this energy so we can harness it? We can channel it. When we lose it, even if it was not love, it doesn't destroy us. It doesn't become an emotional, manipulative card that is also played in relationships. Oh, you don't love me, like you said. Or I'm going to take away my love because you did this. I'm going to ration out my love because you behave badly. I would love your thoughts on this.
It's my relationships. I'm a soul who is playing that role of a mother, of a wife, of a daughter, of a sister. This is just a role. So, like acting, this is an actor, and this is the role of that actor. So roles many, actor same, actor same. So who's the actor? I, the soul. The innate nature of every soul is love. Every soul has 7 qualities. Every soul on the planet has 7 qualities: purity, peace, love, happiness, power, wisdom, and bliss. 7 sanskars of every soul. Every soul. And ask anyone, everybody wants these 7. Why? Because those 7 are what I'm made of. It's like body made of 5 elements. So if that one element is imbalanced, I'll say, I need water, I need fresh air, because I need what I am made of. So to get that balance right. Similarly, every soul is of these 7 qualities. Over a journey of many lifetimes, I've created lust, ego, stress, anxiety, and that whole list. That is not my original nature. So this is white, the original color. Throughout the day, a lot to do. By the end of the day, may not be as white. It will be stained. Now suppose you also wear white, he also wears, she also wears, and all of us start the journey wearing the same white. By the end of the day, everybody will have different stains, depend on how the journey of the day has been. But that little mistake, I thought the stain is my nature. The stain is not my nature. That original color, purity, love, peace is my nature. When I understand that, I don't need love anymore. I don't need love. I am love. It's my nature. How does it come out in action? Acceptance. Unconditional acceptance is love. When I want you to be a certain way, it's an expectation. Why do I want you to be a certain way? Because when you are a certain way, then I am comfortable. That means I'm dependent on you. Body consciousness, relationship consciousness, ego consciousness. So like you shared, when a child, why is a child so attractive? Because a child unconditionally accepts everyone as they are. The child can't make out this is the head of the family, this is a staff of the family. Equally sweet to everybody. But as the child is growing up, layers and layers and layers of you are so and so, they are so and so, they are lesser, this one is more, this one is higher, this one is lower. Layers and layers and layers of what we have acquired, but that is not who we are. So I was not taught that I am a soul and all this is only what I have acquired. I was taught all that I was acquired is who I am. So the body, I said, how am I looking today? I look at the body in the mirror and say, how am I looking today? It is not how am I looking today. It is how is my body looking today. How am I is here. I cannot see that in the mirror. Then I am a father. I am a doctor. It is not I. It is my relationship. So my whole consciousness was not right. The spirituality taught me I am a soul. This is my body, my relationship, my roles. Now go into everything to give because I already have what I want. Today we are going into everything to get. I want love, I want respect, I want peace. How will I get it? When you do this my way. So how many couples you will find saying to each other, you don't love me. The other person says, how am I supposed to prove it?
Yeah.
Because you didn't do this way. So love is not dependent on what you do this way. Your definition of care and my definition of care can be completely different. Completely different. But we want the other person to be our way. So that makes every simple thing very, very complicated. So love is our original nature. It means acceptance, care, respect for every soul. For every soul. And the more you practice this, you can experience that kind of feeling for everyone. It's not going to be restricted to, when I say I feel that only for so and so person, that is not love, that is attachment because of the relationship that I am in. Two words are different. That is attachment, this is love. Love is an unconditional feeling, it's radiating, it's just who I am. Attachment is, this one is mine. And so that is why I feel this for this person, and then this person should be this way, and if they are not this way, then they don't love me. If the child didn't do what I say, that means they don't respect me. These are all my conditioning which I have created. But the more you truly start experiencing that you are love, you will start feeling that for everyone. So when we say people, when they move on a spiritual journey, it's not that they don't want to get caged. It's just that they're finding a higher purpose of what they want to do, not what they want to feel. I am married. I am living with my husband. I am living with my family. But that is not restricting me from what I'm doing. So my doing and being is different. Being is how I'm feeling. Doing is what I'm doing. So some people will say, I don't want to just take care of one family. I want to be out there for the world, which is fine. Which is fine. But if you are with family, it does not mean that you cannot love the world the same way. Because that's just a part of the being. That's not part of the doing. When we say priest, nun, that we're talking about celibacy. Celibacy. Because when you want to rise above in your vibration, when you want to experience that soul consciousness, you rise above the body. So lust does not come as a part of soul consciousness. So the way we're talking about lust, we're not talking about love.
Right.
We're talking about lust, not about love. So I am married for 26 years, but celibate right from day one. That's it.
Yeah.
So beautiful relationship. Beautiful. And somebody's like, how can a relationship be without lust? We say it's the most beautiful relationship. But it is love, not attachment.
Yeah.
Not attachment, not putting each other down, not saying you have to be my way. It's a very beautiful relationship. Somebody has to experience it to see how beautiful it can be, because we laid down physical needs as the fundamental foundation of our relationships. And that's why people are even going out into other relationships for that fundamental need of their body. And they believe it's a need of their body, but actually lust is in the mind, not in the body. It's not a need of the body. It's a thought process. It's here. And so you're trying to get it from so many different means, whether it's the content you consume, whether, wow, it's a craving of the soul, not of the body. It's a sanskar. It's lust is a stain on the original color of love. So when we say I don't want to get married, that can be simply because I don't want to get into lust.
Yeah.
But it does not mean that you cannot love these people and yet love the rest of the world. That's not true. That's not true at all. Love is just, it's like a flower, like this flower. This is the original color, original fragrance. Keep it anywhere. Keep it anywhere. The flower is in its original color. But now if the flower starts saying, you didn't look at me, you didn't say I'm beautiful, you didn't come and touch me, and that's why I'm sulking, then the original color of the flower will start changing. Originally, the flower is what the flower is. But the minute the flower starts having expectations, right now this flower does not have expectations from us. This flower is just blooming and giving to the world. Giving what it is. Everything in nature is giving. Everything in nature is giving. The human soul, nature is to give. Somewhere nobody taught us, so we shifted from, instead of giving, we were like
taking.
So many couples nowadays, they say, we don't want to live with each other anymore. Say, why? I'm not getting anything in this relationship. So why should I be with this person? So I went there to get. I didn't get. So now I don't want to be there. Don't get into any relationship to get. Go into everything to give. So just like this rose. Now this rose will remain like this, beautiful. Irrespective of you are sitting here, I am sitting here, somebody else comes, somebody else, it doesn't matter. Just being who you are.
Yeah.
That's what we have to be. Just be who you are, your original nature. The other person doesn't behave right with you, be who you are.
Yeah.
Be your nature of love, respect and forgiveness. That is your nature. But somebody taught me I have to get love and respect. So I'm always looking at the other person. You didn't do this, so you don't love me. You didn't do this, so you're not respecting me. So I shifted from being a giver to this. Things got complicated. So love is my nature.
Wow.
Love everyone. Everyone the same way. Which means I'm a soul and I will look at everyone the same way. When I thought I was the body, then I was looking at the body. I was comparing myself with other people. Just more prettier, more attractive. I am not. When I looked at myself as a relationship, I was looking at the other person as a relationship. What am I getting in this relationship? A husband should be like this. A son should be like this. You are not like this. When I was looking at myself as a role, I was looking at you as a role. This is all ego consciousness. That's layers of ego. That is not what I am. That is only the role that I'm playing. I'm a soul. Now go into every role, just being who you are. Life becomes very simple.
So every time we actually compare ourselves, we're actually putting down we're rejecting us.
Absolutely.
At every level. At a
Rejecting
soul
the
level
body
as well.
also. Rejecting the body also.
Rejecting the body, which means we're rejecting the soul.
Yeah. So when I reject my body, even then health will get affected.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm rejecting, I'm saying you're not right. You're not perfect. So such a strong affirmation. We look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I'm not perfect. I have to be perfect. This can be different. But again, a lot of conditioning, media, content, what we're listening to. So we have to take care of what we consume. And that's why daily, if 10-15 minutes we consume spiritual principles, thought process goes right.
Yeah, that's true.
It goes right.
I always tell people, before you get onto social media, Are you going in aligned or already in chaos? Because that's going to make, I still think social media can win. It's too strong. But sister, I want to pick up on two words, pleasure and lust. At an anatomical level, at a body level, okay, the brain cells are hardwired to seek pleasure, avoid pain. That's why most industries profit on anything that can give pleasure or avoid pain. Is there a difference? You keep reading this stuff about pleasure leading to spiritual connections, whether it's sexual, whether it's tantric. How do you explain this? And there's, of course, lust is intention. I want to please the body. I want more. My mind is conditioned. Someone's sleeping with 10 women. I want to sleep with 11. Someone's sleeping with 5 guys. That's lust. Lust is purely the focus on pleasure, on the body experience. But what about pleasure? Is there depth in pleasure? Is there, because some relationships, some meaning, I've seen couples where they say, our pleasure is at a spiritual level. It's physical, spiritual, and it's us. Is there a depth in this? I know some people can create it without sexual as well.
Right.
But can it also be there, since reproduction is a part of the body, and if people are really doing it with intention, it can build such strong bonds between people?
So if they're doing it with divinity.
Yeah, with divinity.
With divinity.
Yeah.
And that purity.
Yeah.
That purity of intent. So it's here. Pleasure is not outside. Pleasure is here. And the more I seek it outside, the more I get addicted to that substance, whatever that substance may be. Even a phone, I'm picking it up for pleasure, I'm getting bored. So I pick up the phone. Now it's become my addiction. So pleasure, when I try to seek it in anything outside, even in the body, even in what I eat. If I'm seeking pleasure through what I eat, then even if you tell me this is not right, I should not be eating it, I say, but I can't live without it. I can't do without my morning coffee, I can't do without this. These are strong statements we say, I can't do without this. What do you mean you can't do without it? Think today and drop it? No, I can't do without it. It's not that you cannot do without that substance. It's just that you have got addicted to that pleasure that you are creating when you're consuming that substance.
Sister, of course, we could go on talking for the entire day, but now that we've understood the soul journey, okay, how can we begin this journey? What are the simplest things that anyone watching this today from anywhere in the world decides that, hey, I want to reconnect, I want to connect, I want to enhance my connection with my soul and start living that way? How do we start this journey?
First thing is commit a little time for yourself every day, preferably early morning. That's a good time where you've just woken out of deep sleep, your subconscious mind is active, what you will consume at that time will go deeper. Throughout the day it's more on the conscious layer of the mind. So it's like I want to sow the seed, so I need to dig a little and then let the seed go deeper there. So the early morning time is always for meditation, mindfulness practice, spiritual study, yoga, pranayama, whatever everybody feels right. Sleep cycle is very important. Today people say, okay, I have to sleep 7-8 hours, doesn't matter which time that is. But that is not true. So why the 4 a.m. time is called the Brahma Muhurat, the Amrit Vela. It's a very high vibration time. So use that time. But for that, of course, sleep early. Sleep early and sleep deep. It's actually not, today the world is talking about the number of hours we are sleeping. But it's more than the number of hours, it's the quality of sleep. So in spite of having slept 8 hours, people seem so fatigued early in the morning. I mean, this is the Delhi-Gurgaon Expressway. You're there in the jam for an hour. I keep looking at everybody's faces. These are leaders who are traveling to work. They're feeling sleepy early in the morning. They've dozed off in the car. On a flight you check, people are falling off to sleep. People can literally sleep through an entire flight early morning. You ask them, you didn't sleep last night? Of course I slept last night. And then they think it's a quality. I can fall off to sleep anytime, anywhere. If anybody can fall off to sleep anytime, anywhere, which means that they are sleep deprived.
Very fatigued,
But they've slept, deep sleep. So the best part is disconnect from your work at least a couple of hours before you're going to go to sleep. You have to shut down the files here. But if we are at work till we go to sleep, if we are checking our emails and messages even in the middle of the night, then I'm not going to experience deep sleep. So if I want to sleep at 10, by 8 o'clock I should disconnect from work, which means work emails, work messages, business phone calls, everything. Give your mind that time to shut down content, information, early dinner, so that my digestion is over before I go to sleep. And then disconnect from media also,
Yeah.
which means negative content, where there is lust, ego, panic, aggression, violence, fear. Do not consume that content. Anyway, that content is not healthy, but definitely not an hour before I'm going to sleep. 15 minutes before I sleep for myself. Consume high vibrational content before that. So consume content of acceptance, of forgiveness, of letting go, because what I consume before going to sleep is going to work on my mind and on my body for the next 6-7 hours. So it's very important. Then meditation or write your affirmations. So keep that 15-20 minutes. Prepare your mind and body before going to sleep. Don't just fall off to sleep.
So could I do reflection and silence also in that
Yes,
15 instead of
yes,
reading something?
Yes,
You can.
but no,
Okay.
give high energy words.
Got it.
Which
So-
means, because everybody gets used to using their phone before going
Yeah.
to sleep. So I'm not going to end the day with negative words. I'm not going to end the day with looking at the number of likes on the social media post. Because I will go to sleep looking at the figure, but during my sleep, my mind is again processing that feeling of lack of acceptance. That we won't know.
Yeah.
We know what happens here while we're sleeping. We also have to know what happens here while we're sleeping. So 10-15 minutes, read something nice. Give your mind content which it will contemplate on. Then reflection, meditation, writing affirmations, whatever. Each one will choose their own. But once you've written your affirmations, then no phone after that. No talking to anyone after that. That's your last thought. Your last thought. Now your affirmations will get processed during the next 6 hours. And also those are those high vibrational words which are going to radiate to your body. So healing of the body is happening. So it's good to give it that good energy before I go to sleep. Then I automatically wake up at 4 o'clock. I don't need an alarm for that if I've slept deep, because I slept the right way. Then use that 4 to 5 a.m. Again, meditation, affirmations, again, spiritual study. Content is very important. Just meditation is not enough. Just meditation is not enough. Meditation is like exercise, and spiritual content is the diet. I need both.
Beautiful.
I need both. So just content is not enough. Just meditation is not enough. Both. So content gives me information of the right way of thinking. If I only meditate, it's not enough. I need to listen to this, that forgiveness is beneficial. Why is it beneficial? What is the thought process? So that creates the thought. Now I contemplate on that during my meditation. So I have my meal and now I have to digest that meal. So that's why both are needed together. So early morning and just before going to sleep, these two things are very beneficial. Then during the day, live like a Karam yogi. Karam yogi meaning you're doing what you're doing, but you're doing it at a higher vibration. Yogi means a higher vibration. Yogi doesn't mean those who've left materialistic life. It means those who are living at a higher energy, which means don't use anger as your weapon to get work done. Do the same thing with empathy and compassion. You're living at a higher vibration. Don't get irritated when something is not going your way. Be patient. It will get resolved. You're living at a higher vibration. So not just feeling peaceful while meditating, peace in action.
Yeah.
In action, because meditation will be 15 minutes, 24 hours you are in action. So it has to be a meditative lifestyle, not just meditation, meditative lifestyle. So that's a Karam yogi, living at a higher vibration. Sattvic food plays a very important role. So not just nutrition of what I eat, the vibration of what I eat is very important. So we feel a vegetarian diet is extremely beneficial in terms of vibrations. And then cooked the right way, which means it's cooked with high vibrational words in the kitchen. Like how you cook in a temple or a church or a gurdwara, high vibration words are playing when food is being cooked, because the food is going to absorb all those words. So we have people doing that at home. You can do it in your kitchen at home. Have high vibrational words, whatever you like. Any prayer, any mantra, any chanting, anything, play it in the kitchen. It's radiating into the food, into the water, into the fruits, everything that the whole family is going to eat. Mindful eating, which means no gadgets, no phone, no TV while eating. Before we eat, we start with our affirmations. So energize the food with your affirmation, because when it was cooked, there are some thoughts which have gone into the food. And then many people say, I created my affirmations, why is it not manifesting? Because you also have to do it with your meal. So we were always taught to pray before we eat.
Yeah.
So pray means create high vibration words before you eat so that you're changing the energy of your food. See where it was grown, which market it came to, then it came to the shop, then it came to my kitchen. There's a whole journey for that meal. So a lot of vibrations have gone. So affirmations before we eat. So just see simple little practices and you will see your vibrations rising and you will see your ego going lower and your original self coming out higher, just like that flower.
Sister, if you had the whole world listening to you right now at this moment, what would your message be for them?
Stop living like a victim, blaming the world and blaming situations for how you're feeling, because life is not about what's happening. Life is about how we are responding to what's happening. So just start prioritizing self-care. Love yourself. Don't wait for the world to love you. You need only one person to love you, yourself. You need only one person to be kind to you, yourself. If you are kind and loving to yourself, then you can be that to the world. But if you're waiting for the world to do that to you, may happen, may not happen. So take responsibility. That's called Atmanirbhar, self-reliant. Self-reliant, not a victim to situations and people and what's going on in the world and what's the government doing. We can live like a victim forever. That's not life. Life is personal responsibility, self-care. Don't say I don't have time, because if you say I don't have time for myself, then you don't love yourself, because you always find time for people whom you love. So, and it's really not about time, it's all about priority. If you prioritize yourself, you will take out time. Don't prioritize yourself, you can live your life like a victim. So prioritize yourself, keep a little time for yourself every day, take care of yourself. Same situations, you will sail through it like a beautiful divine experience. Same situation won't change. People will not change. When you change, your world will change. Your world will change. It's very simple.
Sister, thank you so much. This has been amazing.
Thank you.
There are so many things we've learned, and I'm really grateful to have you on this show today.
Thank you so much.
And I look forward to doing some more with you.
Definitely.
Because I still have so many more questions. Definitely. And I'm sure our audience will. Thank you so much,
Look
sister.
forward.